everyone. I'm Mandi Rae with OPA, the Organization for Professional Astrology, and I'm here with Alexandra Karacostas. How are you today?
I am well, Mandy. It's really nice to be here with you.
I'm so glad you're here with me, and I actually would love for you to tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a professional astrologer, have been for decades now. I started my studying in 75, kind of against my will, actually, but it's sort of in the process of studying, I kind of was remembering astrology. And by the early mid 80s, I started being a professional astrologer. Um, Over the decades, I've kind of weaved other professions into my practice because I was raising kids and doing other things as well. But astrology has always been a real strong thread in my life. And um, and then in 2006, or was it seven, I became involved with a OPA. One of the best things I ever have done, actually, professionally. I've been a member of a lot of our other affiliate astrology groups. And I became very much involved with OPA and helped develop some of this peer group program, actually, uh, originally with Sandra Lee and Bob Mulligan and Arlen Wise, kind of at the what it is today. And through the years, I've been on the OPA board the better part of the last 17 years. I'm not on it right now and kind of taking off and doing some other things right now. But I've also served as president, and I've written for a lot of articles. A couple books are waiting in my computer now that I'm taking a little time off. Maybe they'll get finished. I also lead, so I have clients. I write. I wrote for Mountain Astrologer for like 9 years. I've written for many magazines since about the last 30 years. And and right now I'm just, doing some consulting, some webinars, and coming to the OPA retreat. I've also been doing, I'm Greek American, and I spend half my time in Greece. And I've been leading astro tours, mythological healing, sacred site, all kinds of different tours like that in Greece. And many of them with my colleague Ariel Gutman. So, well, that's a little bit about what I do.
Yeah, a little bit. You are a treasure trove of knowledge, and I'm so glad to be talking to you today. And I am really excited that you're leading a peer group at the OPA retreat because we have different ways you can get a peer group experience, which is online and then in person. And so to be able to do it in person, especially after we all went through lockdowns and shutdowns, and that was a time when we were separated. So it's really nice to have stuff to do in person, I think, right now. And peer group fits so well into OPA's certification program. And you also get the community of it. So tell me a little bit about how peer group goes. It's 3 days and you have a sort of a track for each day, right?
We do, that's right. Our peer group actually, and I'm not just saying this because I'm leading a track, okay, but it's probably my favorite program in all of the orgs that anybody has ever offered. I think this is my favorite. Why? It's small. There are four of us. Okay, there are four participants and the facilitator, moi. And um, and so it's small, it's intimate, it is about confidentiality. So we get to really be present and be ourselves, which is really important. If we're interested in wanting to grow and learn, we have to be willing to be vulnerable and humble and to whatever presents itself. So the first day we share a challenging type of circumstance client that we've had, no family members, no friends, but a real life situation that our peers get to look at the chart and look at our chart and also, try to provide some insight as to what was going on and how might that situation be avoided or modified in the future or situations like that. And we get, four or five of them. We all get to share. So we get different perspectives and also different ways that this might come up because it's not always the same scenario that presents a challenge, right? The second day is the day that most people, including myself at the very beginning, oh my God, I almost peed my pants. I was so nervous. Reading for Monica Domino, bless her heart, she's passed now. She rests in peace. And it can be kind of nerve-wracking because here you are amongst your peers, you're expected to do modified reading, but a real reading with the person that you've been assigned to read. And most of us don't read in front of other people. It can be really frightening, scary. But the good news is that as in life, when we move through something that is really scary, it makes us stronger. And furthermore, once we kind of get over that nervousness and we observe other people, I can tell you, Mandy, most of the time people leave from that second day not only feeling a great sense of relief of having done it, but probably end up thinking, my work is pretty darn good. I do know what I'm talking about. So you get a lot of validation and a lot of support. And I think it's so interesting to see how other people work. What techniques do they apply? How do they read a chart? Because there are many ways to read a horoscope, right? Many ways and many styles and of astrology, many styles, personal styles, but also techniques, different kinds of astrology. So the criteria is not about what kind of astrology you're using, but it has to be useful and helpful. And hopefully, um, the client walks away with some sense of at least getting one or two things truly out of it. So I think so that second day really I think is kind of like the crux of that of the peer group program because it's the most challenging internally. So this process is not just about learning better astrology, which it is, so it not only enhances our professional life, but it also helps us grow internally and spiritually to really connect more with ourselves and develop greater confidence in our work. So I think it's a real gem, a real gift, this part of the program. And then the third day, we present a business plan. And some people have had an objection to the word business, but you can call it your vision plan. It's your plan. What's your focus? What's your goal? How is it that you're going to apply your astrological knowledge, information, practice, and what are you going to do with it? So you present your plan. You thoughtfully have written this out as instructed. And then your peers and I, or whoever's facilitating, we look at the plan. The person gets to discuss it, and then we get to give some feedback based on the person's horoscope, where they're at in their life right now. Say, this is a great idea. Maybe this isn't such a good idea, but give honest and helpful feedback to help that individual, to help us all move forward and truly grow in um, in positive and real ways, where we feel like we're becoming that our profession is becoming more solid, our foundation is stronger.
Oh, yes. I don't think there's any better way to get that experience. I think they should have it for all professions. It feels like a peer group would be valuable because you do get to be vulnerable. What's unique about the astrology peer groups, especially practicing astrologers, which you should be at least for 6 months is the rule, come to this with some experience and something to share and something to need feedback on. We all need feedback. It is so
We
helpful.
all need to.
And then you get the added bonus of having other astrologers look at your chart and take an outside view of what you're doing and offer pointers. And we all love that because we're astrologers. So it's such a valuable experience. I think day two, where we look at one another's charts and read in front of people, is, I would agree, it is eye opening. It's enlightening.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is enlightening. It is enlightening. The process before we do it, sometimes it's really nerve-wracking, but once we get into it, I think it's amazing how things flow. And the observers gets to just observe, no interruptions, just just observe, and I take in what is offered. Yeah, and then feedback comes afterwards.
Every experience I've ever had with feedback has been it's all in the essence of love and kindness. There's never been an uncomfortable situation. So that's one thing I think that maybe we build up in ourselves and that makes us nervous is, are they going to tell me I'm doing it wrong? And there is never anything like that. If you get any feedback, it is always edifying and constructive and kindness and love. And
That's
it's a
the
nice
hope.
container.
Right. That's the hope. That's the hope. It really is important that, the people that come into the program have been really practicing. So they do have something to share. And they have had a difficult situation that they can present to us, because it helps all of us. And that doesn't just help the person who's had the difficult situation. Right. And so, in those 3 days, though there's only a few days, you can develop great intimacy and great friendships, because hopefully you're, allowing yourself to be a little bit vulnerable and open. And, we don't go in there thinking that we know everything because we'll never know everything. We go in there in the spirit of growing and cooperation and supporting one another because we all need support.
Yes, a rising tide lifts all boats. Is that the saying?
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And you do get that community feedback, and the business plan as well is super helpful, um, because so many people have so many different ideas, and you almost get to mine that from each other, and each other's experiences.
Absolutely. Especially these days, with the technology, what it is. I mean, there's so much more going on today than there was, when I first started doing this and in peer group stuff, let alone astrology. I was doing charts by hand till the late 80s. So yeah. And so I learned a lot of things too, because, I'm not all that techie, but there's so much that can be done, today. So yeah, I love the peer group work, but I also love OPA retreats. They're my favorite. I've been going to conferences probably since 1980, I think. And um, this one by far is probably my favorite because we get to spend time together. The tracks, you get once you choose a track, you are in that track and you get to spend a nice chunk of time learning whatever you have chosen to participate in. And then the plenary sessions are always highly intelligent, interesting, insightful, and we all get to hang together. We eat together. I mean, it's wonderful. I can't it's just I can't wait. I can't say enough positive things about the format of these retreats. And this time, and we, usually try to have them in beautiful places. And Park City, wow, I mean, get to be in Utah up in the mountains. I've never been to this particular place. I'm looking forward to it. It sounds extraordinary. Sounds absolutely wonderful. So yeah, pretty good stuff. Pretty good
It
stuff.
does. I think, we may be at the very tail end of the aspens turning golden when we're there. So if you've ever seen aspen trees turn golden, it is just awe-inspiring. And I'm very much looking forward to that. And the place we're going, New Park Resorts, that's what it's called. It looks like a wonderful facility from what I've seen. And you can
Looks
go to
beautiful.
our website and see. Yeah, I think we have it linked. And I actually might go take a look around and see where all of the little hiking
Yeah,
trails are. There's lots of cool stuff around there.
yeah, yeah. I'm just really looking forward to it. I'm thinking I might come in a little bit early and catch up with a couple of my buddies and peers and to celebrate the fact that there's another OPA retreat.
Yes, and that is what it's about. The community, I think, is really what uh, builds you up. I mean, how isolating it can be an astrologer.
Oh my goodness. For many years I lived up in Montana, and for many years I was just so alone. I mean, I'd have to travel like a long way to go anywhere to be with colleagues. So yeah, and plus, we work alone. We work alone. and then we work with a client, whether it's on Zoom now or by ourselves. Yeah, it's very isolating. It can be. That COVID period was difficult. I know that we got on Zoom and all that, but it was difficult. So there's nothing that replaces the vibe, the energy exchange, the hug, the
Mm.
just the presence, we're sentient beings and we vibrate just to be with one another. Yeah.
Absolutely. And if you are interested in going to this retreat, you can go to opaastrology.org.
Well, and for those who want to come and want to participate, you don't have to come to my peer group. You can go to somebody else's, or heck, just go to one of the tracks. I mean, there are so many tracks that are being offered. A couple of them are already sold out. Look at all these fabulous
Let's
teachers and
see.
people that are
This
on
is the
that are here.
peer group leaders here. And then we've got, and if you'll see at the top, if you go to the top, you can go to the retreat and the immersion tracks. Yeah, Moon, Kira Sutherland sold out, Sam, Christopher Renstrom, Ann Ortley, Magali Morales, Rick Levine, Celeste Brooks, and Lynn Bell. So many people.
So many fantastic people, all of them. And you know what? And if somebody wants to be, if it were me and I wanted to participate in one of the tracks that sold out, I would like sign up for the next best thing that I would want, but then get on a wait list because sometimes people drop out. And so
Yeah,
there is the possibility
absolutely.
of still being able to get into the track of your first choice. But all of these tracks are so rich. I mean, I wish I could just somehow be put myself up and be able to participate in all the tracks and still do the cheer group with.
It's a difficult choice, but it's also really wonderful because you will have chances to have dinner with all of these people and your other colleagues, make connections, talk about astrology, and it is wonderful. And if you're interested in just peer group, you can, and you aren't able to do this retreat, you can also take the peer groups that we offer on a rotating basis. So that is a possibility if that's something that interests you as well. And it is such a valuable experience to me.
Absolutely. And valuable, enlightening, and fun. And fun.
I would agree. I would agree. Well, I really thank you for joining me today. This has been a wonderful talk.
Thank you.
And we'll have Alexandra's website in the description on the YouTube video. And thank you for joining us today. I'm Mandi Rae. Please like, share, and subscribe to OPA Community Outreach on YouTube. Thank you very much.